What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Seth the Lawn Surgeon. Back. It's been a long, hard road, people. First and foremost, I just want to give a shout out to everybody I come across. Everybody I see out in these streets that's like, Seth, when you gonna start making videos again, Seth? You know, what's going on? And the long road. I'm gonna give y'all a little brief story, you know, my last few years. Also, I'm gonna talk about like late seeding. Anybody who wanted to like seed right now, people always used to tell me it's a bad idea, but it can be possible. It's possible. You just gotta know what you're doing, right? But you already know what time it is. Tipsy Talk. All right, people. Let's get the elephant out the room. Where have I been? What's been going on? As you see, whole new recliner situation, whole new place. You know, a new stage in my life. So I've been going through that, and so in the process of going through, my separation and whatnot, I had a lot going on with my business. My business, my YouTube. It was crazy. I just felt like my whole everything was just falling apart, really. And to start off with my YouTube channel, but why I stopped making videos, I want to say that it's kind of crazy. It's been about 2 years from now. 2 years ago was the last time I really posted a video on YouTube. I kind of forgot how to do it. Oh yeah, my bad. I ain't done this in so long. I forgot to let y'all know. Little light work today. Little Miller High Life. I don't got any liquor today. I'm gonna try to remember. I used to do the little shot thing, so we could do shots. I'm gonna get that the next time, because I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna start posting at minimum Tipsy Talks again, because that's really what people always ask about. Anywho, let me get to this right quick. So first and foremost, like y'all know, I work part-time at the airport. I took my laptop to the airport, and then I dropped it. It was slipped. I forgot to zip my backpack. My laptop slipped out my backpack and a screen cracked. So I'm like, dang. So then I was using my ex laptop, and I had a hard drive on a kitchen table that had everything on it. I think this was like a 2 terabyte hard drive. And when I tell y'all it had everything, I had everything on this thing categorized from 2013 videos, 2014, like all my videos, right? And won't you know, while I was at work or something, Rocky knocked it off the table and made this hard drive crash. And this video had everything, my intros, all all that, right? And I want to say this was in like 2022, right? But yet and still, I had to keep the train going, right? So I had to I literally didn't have my intro, so I had to go on my old videos on YouTube, download my intro to get it back, because I didn't feel like remaking it or remaking a new one. And I was just using that. So if you kind of look in 2022, that's what I was using, right? And also in 2022, it was just like everything was breaking down. My trailer broke down all summer to the point where like I left it at the gas station for like 2 weeks. Some people was like, "Hey, I saw your trailer at the gas station." And I'm like, yeah. It like 2 bearings went out on, it's a dual axle trailer, imagine this. Bearings went out on both sides. On the same side, they went out on both axles. And it was bearings that I had changed. You know, I thought I had changed well, but I guess I didn't. So I was just so frustrated at it. I just left it there. That's why I sat there for 2 weeks until I felt like messing with it. I went up there, got it rolling, got it back to my house. And then from that point on, that's when I started using U-Haul trailers. If you see in my videos now, I've been using U-Haul trailers. And it's just been put my mind at ease using U-Haul trailers, because I make, you know, with one job, I make that money back, and I don't have to think about maintenance. I don't have to think about stuff. Multiple times I thought about getting a trailer, and I'm just like, you know, it's whatever. So I just been using U-Haul trailers. Also that year, my Gravely broke down. My walk behind broke down. I got a new Ariens that broke down, but it was just like everything was breaking down, bro. And so I just got to a point where I was like, bro, like, what am I doing here? On YouTube, I mean, I'm like, bro, like, I'm trying to make videos for my people. That was the thing that was pushing me, is my people that watch me. I'm trying to make videos for y'all, but it's like a struggle, right? And so now I had to come to a new place. And right now, like, I'm gonna tell you where my business is at, which is very small than what I used to be, because I had to reduce it, and because I'm trying to get away from the actual everyday of me going out. So I had to reduce it. But my new thing is I'm still gonna sprinkle some lawn care stuff in it, but I'm gonna talk about everything. It's just gonna be a general tipsy talk, what I see on the news, music, movies, what I'm watching type thing. And so that's what it's gonna be. All right, so we got that out the way. I hope to answer some questions. Anywho, seeding. Right now it's March. Like I said, I never like to talk about fertilization and stuff, because everybody's in different areas. So my information for you might not pertain to somebody in South Carolina or Ohio or whatever, but I'm gonna talk about Virginia, right? So right now in March in Virginia, that's where we're at, is kind of the limbo. Some days it's hot, some days it's cold, right? And it's been this big thing when I first started getting into lawn care. Don't put down seeds right now, because a lot of times that's people's knee-jerk reaction. They see other people's grass growing good, they want to go put down seeds. And so they say, if you put down seeds now in March, by June it's gonna burn out. Which is true if you don't know what you're doing, right? So to break this down without going into a long story, the reason you put down seeds in the fall is to allow seeds to germinate. I remember back in first grade, My first grade teacher got us to get sunflower seeds. We got a wet paper towel. We put the sunflower seed on the wet paper towel. We put it in a Ziploc bag, and she stapled it up to the bulletin board. And she put our names on it, so that way we could see our seeds start to germinate. What germinate is when your seed starts to sprout roots, and it comes out the shell, and it tries to get to moisture. So when you put down seeds in the fall, that's what your seeds are doing over wintertime. I know a lot of people say, well, it's cold, the seeds are not growing. But wintertime is actually excellent for germination because it's excellent for germination because it's wet. Even though the ground might be frozen at some points, it thaws out. So all that snow that was on the ground or moisture, it makes the ground mushy, right? And allows those seeds to germinate and start to sprout their roots, right? So when you put them down in the fall, over the winter time, it gets months and months for it to sprout roots. So by the time you put down some weed feed fertilizer in the spring, everything just sprouts up, has strong roots, boom, boom, boom. That's why the grass lasts. Now, if you put down seed right now in March, those seeds don't have enough time to germinate and to sprout those strong roots. So that's why a lot of times the grass dies over by June. When it gets hot, it burns out. Now, how can you plant seeds right now in March and still make it last through June? You have to make sure it gets strong roots. And to do that, you have to understand fertilizer. Fertilizer is 3 numbers you see on the bag. Dang it. Hopefully I'm saying this right. Nitrogen, phosphorus, and yeah, people calling me all right now. Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. I always get the 2 P's mixed up. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, right? The first number is nitrogen. That is basically like a steroid for grass. It's like a steroid for grass, and it makes the grass sprout up. So that's why you put that down. And a lot of times when we see weed and feed, the 3 numbers is usually 24-0, 8 or something like that, or 24-0-4 or something like that, depending on it. And that's because you want a lot of nitrogen to help kickstart that growth. But throughout the year, you don't want too much nitrogen because that'll also burn out your grass, right? So the second number, phosphorus, is for the roots. That is what makes the roots grow stronger and deeper, right? Of course, you notice that in weed and feed, it doesn't have that. And that's because you would typically put that down over the fall and allow it to naturally build strong roots, right? The third number, potassium, is overall. It just strengthens overall top, bottom, blade, root, and it just helps make it more durable in weather, cold, hot, whatever. So anyway, so say we got to March and you want to put down some seeds, right? What we're going to do is, first, because I'm doing this with a customer, first I went and I put down seeds and I put down lime, right? The lime helps soften the soil, raise the pH. We'll see what kind of results we get, because this is the first time he's treated his yard. But my seeds also have an activator on, a green activator, which helps it, as long as it get enough water, which I told him to water it twice, 2 or 3 times a day. Not two or three times a day. Every 2 to 3 days. That will help it sprout. And once we got it sprouted, and then now here I come, a month, because I have to wait a month, because weed and feed puts a herbicide in the soil to prevent seeds from taking, i.e. weeds, right? So weed seeds from spreading into your soil. So, but I can't put it down at the same time as you put down seeds, because that might hinder the seeds from germinating, if that makes sense, right? So we gotta wait at least a month with some good watering, and we've been getting some good rain, and then we can go ahead and put down a weed feed. But remember, the key factor is that second number. It doesn't have any of that in it, and that's what's for roots to help germination. So you're gonna have to find some type of fertilizer that has that second number in it. Phosphorus, I believe it is. And so you can put down the weed feed, and ideally you want to find, if you got a weed feed that's 2404, you ideally want to find another fertilizer that's 0 something 0. You know what I'm saying? Because you already got the other numbers, so you don't want to like double down, because then if you get something that has more nitrogen in it, now you're going to have twice as much nitrogen, and that's going to burn the grass out anyway. So yeah, so aeration is also good if the ground's really hard, but if the ground's not too hard, if you got growth growing in the yard, then I mean, typically you don't need aeration. I mean, it'd be good for your pockets, but not particularly your customers' pockets. But so yeah, so I'm doing that. I found an awesome fertilizer at Lowe's. If I feel like it, I'm gonna put the video up here. So I was at Lowe's, right? And I forget, I'll usually get this brand, I don't know, Stay Green or something like that, because that's what Lowe's put up front. Lowe's think they slick, bro. They'll take Scott's for all the way up front. The next be Turf Builder. The next be the Stay Green, and the Stay Green be the cheapest, because of course it's cheaper than Scott's and Turf Builder, and they so I always get that little Stay Green brand. But over the years, back in the day, we used to get 50-pound bags of fertilizer. You know what I mean? 50-pound bags of seed, 50-pound bags of fertilizer. And then they just reduced it kind of down to 30. And now I went in there, and these Stay Green bags is like, a weed feed is like still $50, and it's 36 pounds. Or you can get this other brand, other Stay Green version, and that one's only 31 pounds. And I'm like, bro, like, it gotta be something else. So I said, let me go snoop around this Lowe's, blah, blah, blah. So back in the back cut, I found this little Professional brand of fertilizers. And usually, I always stay away from stuff that says Professional brand, because they typically get them are more expensive, but not this case. Like I said, I'm gonna put up this video. This the Stay Green brand was like $49, and it was only 36 pounds. Went over to this Professional brand, $48 and 50 pounds, bro. 50 pounds, a whole nother 14 pounds. That is not too shabby, bro. And then the kicker was, not only was it extra 14 pounds for the same price, it had iron in it, which if you're familiar with iron, iron is what makes grass get that dark green color. So it's typically people use ironite or they use Milorganite or something like that to help give grass that nice dark green color. And so this had 3% of that in it already. So you telling me I get an extra 14 pounds and iron? Take my money, you know? Take my money. So I got that. I'm using that. I'm gonna see how it is. I'm gonna use it in my yard. You know, you messing around. But yeah, so that's what's going on with that lawn care. Like I said, I'm talking about some other stuff. What's to watch? What have I watched recently? I recently began into anime. Shoot. Let me leave in the comments if y'all watch anime. Let me know what anime y'all watch. My favorite anime right now is Sakamoto Days on Netflix. Me and my daughter been watching it, and when I tell you, it give me One Punch Man vibes, bro. Like that you know, hero type, laid back, nonchalant. It be having these villains that be like, you know, or have an arsenal of weapons or whatever, and he just killing them with ballpoint pens type. I'm loving that. Another show, I think it's on Netflix I'm watching, is Resident Alien. I peeped this. It had like 3 seasons. It's a pretty good show about an alien that's trying to, he's struggling between deciding to destroy the world or whatever. And, you know, that's another good show. But anyway, my battery's about to die. I'm back. Appreciate you guys for holding me down. All the comments in the street saying when I'm gonna make a video. So I'm back. I'm gonna stay consistent and keep posting. So stay tuned. So thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe. Stay tuned. Holla at your boy.